you know that in 1999, E3 featured a performance by David Bowie? You're listening to the Xbox Hub Podcast, the official podcast of the TheXboxHub.com. For all the latest Xbox news, reviews, videos, and opinions, make sure you visit the TheXboxHub.com. But for now, settle down, get comfy, and open your ears for some podcast delights. Hello and welcome to the Xbox Hub Official Podcast, episode number 87. My name's Gareth Bryan. I'm going to be your host, and on my virtual left is Mr. James Burks. How you doing, James?
Hello. I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good,
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. It's stormy here.
Good.
Very stormy.
It's fine up here.
Oh, it's very frightening. Very frightening indeed. And on my virtual right is Mr. Richard Dobson. How you doing, Richard?
Hi guys, good to be back on. A quick weather update for me is it's clouding over. Looks like it's going to be thundery, but not yet.
This is what they tune in for. This is it. All around the world, weather reports. And sitting virtually opposite from me is Mr. Darren Edwards. How you doing, Darren?
Hello, I'm very well, thanks. How are you, Gareth?
I'm very good. What's the weather like?
Similar to Richard, really. Muggy, cloudy, but no storms as of yet.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Now, this is the last of our E3 specials. We started last Thursday, I think. And this is the fourth one. This is like the mop-up of the E3. This is sort of like covering the last of the dregs of the of the last bits of Nintendo.
You're right in some cases.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through that. We're going to go through the awards, and we're going to look about things that was missed. But first of all, because Richard and Darren weren't on our special podcast on Sunday, what was your highlights from the Microsoft event, Richard?
It was probably hearing a bit more about Atomic Heart, the crazy Soviet Russian looking shooter that I'd heard about for a long time, but it seemed like now, knowing that it's going to be in Game Pass day one, that it finally feels like it's not too far away, because I think what I'd seen previously, it just looked absolutely nuts, but no one was it had not had any announcements regarding where it was going to be published or on what consoles or anything like that. So there's always like, it's probably going to be PC, so I'm not going to be able to play it. But no, I'm really looking forward to that whenever it arrives, which looks like next year now. Good,
yeah. Darren?
I was really glad to see some more from Psychonauts 2. I'm a big fan of the original. Really, really, really good game for those who haven't played it. And I guess it has to be Forza 5 as well. Bit cliched, but it just looks phenomenal. There was a bit where there was a stream and it looked like a photograph until the cars came speeding through and you realised it was in-game footage. They've done some amazing work with the looks of that game, so I can't wait to play it and see it in action.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna go straight into the other four last bits of E3. Now, the first one we're going to look at is Nintendo, who I think announced on Tuesday this week. Now, I haven't got a Nintendo Switch. I've never had a Nintendo system. I don't know. It's like gobbledygook to me. It's like I watch the whole thing, and it's like I'm watching a Nickelodeon TV show. Like I'm just confused. I don't know what people are saying. So I'm going to hand it over to these experts I got on this show. Let's start. Richard, what did you like from this show? What was the main thing?
The main thing was the Super Monkey Ball.
Yes.
Banana something? Not Banana Blitz.
Banana Mania.
Banana Mania, that's the one. Which is a remake / remaster of Super Monkey Ball 1, 2, and Deluxe. But am I right in thinking that Deluxe had 1 and 2 built into it anyway when that originally released?
Yeah, that came out it was the first one to come out for Xbox, I think. The original.
Yeah. I had that on PS2 and it was absolutely amazing. The party games that are going to be coming in this remaster are some of the best that I've ever played, and it seems to be coming. I think it was coming out in October, and
October the 5th.
Just can't wait to replay a lot of these games with friends round. It's so much fun.
Good. I'm back. Sorry, I just went out off there for some wine. No, I didn't. Really. I did. Darren, what was your Nintendo highlight?
I mean, so many to choose from. So I grew up in the noughties playing mostly Nintendo games with Xbox as well. But I had a Wii, GameCube, DS, all of it. So this was a great Nintendo Direct for somebody who played games like 15 years ago by then, because Super Monkey Balls getting a re-release, WarioWare, which is another great party game, which is just utter lunacy.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell it's a Japanese game. It's brilliant. Just a series of mini games where you kind of play against the clock, play with friends. It's fantastic. You know, there's Advance Wars that's being kind of remade as well, which is a fantastic little turn-based strategy game that originated in Japan. There's Famicom Wars before it made it over here for the Game Boy Advance. So loads and loads to choose from. If I had to choose one thing, I think it would be Advance Wars, though, because I ploughed so many hours into that when I was younger.
Wow. And that's the one with the sort of plastic tanks and...
It is,
yeah.
So you've got kind of primary colours, really kind of simple but nice-looking battlefields, different commanding officers with different abilities, and it's basic, but it's, you know, there's a level of strategy in it as well, so it's really accessible for anyone. And I thought they were great games.
Great, good. And James, sorry, go on. Yes.
Sorry, I was just going to say, if anyone's ever played Wargroove, which I think was on Game Pass for a period of time, that was sort of like a spiritual successor to it that a smaller team did. Right. And Advance Wars is excellent. That'll be another purchase.
Great.
For me.
James, what about you?
I feel like I'm going to be repeating what these two have said. Because, I mean, I love Super Monkey Ball. That was an instant highlight for me. Just the mini games, even floating around in the air, landing on things, and it's just crazy but fun. And the monkeys are so cute. But WarioWare as well. It is insane, like Darren said. I mean, just in the little clip that they showed, there was a mini game where you had to take hairs out of a statue's armpit and one way to rock a baby to sleep. That's the kind of level of bizarre that goes on in WarioWare. And I'm looking forward to it on September 10th.
Wow.
And Mario Golf Super Rush.
That looks like great fun.
Yeah, which we have to hit the ball and then run after it. There's a bit of fight on the way. Yeah, a lot of fun. So I was really happy with Nintendo.
Great. Breath of the Wild 2 that no one's mentioned yet.
We should probably mention that.
That was
What is it?
That was announced right at the end, and there's some a little bit of a kind of action going on, wasn't there? A little sort of trailers, but you saw a little bit of gameplay. It made people say, "Where is this? What's going on?" Lots of questions. It's coming next year, 2022. Hopefully. Well, who's played the Breath of the Wild? I don't think you have, James. Have you?
I played a little bit.
Yeah.
I've watched a lot of it.
Oh, okay.
I played a bit. It's a very good game. I mean, I think if I've actually put some more hours into it, I'll be quite excited for a sequel. I can just watch it on Twitch.
That's true.
That's fine.
I mean, this is the only thing I would probably buy a Nintendo Switch for, this game. I quite like the sound of this game. And you've played it recently, haven't you, Richard?
Yeah, I think it's my most played title on my Switch, actually. But I said that it's still only around 35 hours. But I've barely really scratched the surface of what you can do in that game.
Right.
And from the trailer that they saw, they look like there's going to be some new abilities for the Shaker Slate. Is that how you pronounce it?
You're asking the wrong person here.
I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Let's go
I think
with that.
so.
So yeah, obviously they're gonna be putting a lot of new things in there that'll just take it to the next level.
And well, I think a lot of people are expecting an announcement for a Switch Pro. or maybe a kind of Switch 2, maybe as well. So was that a surprise that they didn't announce that? And if... Oh, hello. Hello. What have they got to say about
There's something
this?
going on outside.
Yeah, I like it. It's a Switch Pro, and I mentioned that. Angry.
Yeah,
Livid.
someone's
The
not
fans
happy.
want it now.
Yeah.
They are. They're literally screaming for it.
Do you think that will be when that comes out if that comes out next year? Obviously, now it's going to come out with the Breath of the Wild 2. That would be like kind of like the game.
Yeah.
It's a good shout. Yeah.
Yeah, angry. They don't believe in that outside.
No, they don't at all. They're not with you on that one.
But you're pleased with the Nintendo show. Really good. Everyone's happy.
Yeah. Personally, I there's a lot that I kind of wasn't expecting, and they covered off most of what I was expecting. No Metroid 4, Prime 4, which is a shame, but Metroid Dread looks great and has come out of nowhere. Because I'm a big fan of the old 2D ones like Fusion and Zero Mission, so I was really impressed overall. Okay,
good. And were people impressed? Were Nintendo fans happy? Was it? What's the word on the street?
I think so. There's a. I mean, I'm not really a massive fan of kind of which developer won E3, pitting everyone against each other rather than just kind of celebrating games. But most people seem to have decided that it was between Xbox and Nintendo. But Nintendo got the most views, I think, for their stream. Oh, so I think they about 500,000 more than Xbox. So that's what it's getting judged on.
Right. Okay.
It's weird with Nintendo because I don't think any other company will get away with churning out the same games every generation.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, these games have been around for yonks. Mario Party, Smash Bros.
I mean, that's when, as a sort of outsider looking in, that's all I look at and just go, apart from everything that looks like a Nickelodeon TV show, I look at it and go, it's just the same 3 games with different variations, isn't it? That's my.
But they're all very good.
Yeah.
Although there was Project Zero Maiden of Blackwater that was on there as well. If you've ever played any of those games, called Fatal Frame in Japan.
Oh yes, I've played that. Played that on the PlayStation too.
Yeah. So this one's been
scary.
It is really scary. You've got to wait for the ghosts to get really close to you and then use your camera to kind of vanquish them. Yeah. So that's a little tiptoe into the adult game market, I guess.
Yeah. Good. Well, let's talk about other ones. There was Square Enix. I think that happened on the same night as Xbox. And James, you were excited about. I'm going to talk to you about the first one. I think all of you were excited about this. So there was a surprise one in there, wasn't there? I don't think anyone saw this coming. What was it, James?
It depends what you're on about.
Oh,
because you're on about Guardians.
Yes.
It wasn't really a surprise. It was linked beforehand.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Of course it was.
But yes, Guardians of the Galaxy. As a single-player, third-person action adventure. And you get to play Star-Lord. And not the rest of the crew.
No.
But the rest of the crew are going to be under your command, but mainly controlled by AI. I think it's going to be a good game because they're focusing only on the single player. You don't have to worry about the multiplayer co-op. They said there's no DLC. So what you get is everything. They're putting everything into the game, it comes out, and that's a lot. But I didn't think I'm most excited for the soundtrack. I don't know if you picked up on this, but even in the trailer or the gameplay that they showed, you could hear Hot Chocolate, Everyone's a Winner. And there's going to be Iron Maiden, Kiss, Rick Astley, New Kids on the Block. It's going to be such an amazing soundtrack.
And because
you need to go.
It's like a shooter, isn't it? It's a shooter RPG feel, and there was one move, I think, a special move that he's sort of using the power of the cassette recorder, isn't he? Did I dream that up?
I mean, I didn't notice that one particular move. I noticed a lot of different moves.
I thought I saw that.
Yeah, at some point he did turn on the music.
He sort of jumped in the air and was frozen there, and the music was on there,
Yeah, I don't know if it was like a team maneuver, maybe. But yeah, the action, it looked decent. And there's a little bit of a telltale vibe to it as well.
Yeah.
Because you can make choices to influence the story. Like the one in particular was selling Groot or Rocket to someone before then breaking them
that's
out.
right. That's right. Richard, what do you think?
Guardians.
Yeah, is it the same studio that's done the Avengers game?
Oh, is it?
No.
I thought it was Des Ex Machina, that group.
Yeah, and Shadow Team Radio.
Oh, right, okay.
It's Eidos Montreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks interesting. I'd not heard that it was all sort of going to be the all-in-one package. In that sense, it reminds me a bit like the Deadpool game. Don't know if James ever played that.
I did. That was great.
Yeah.
What did it get straight for?
Yeah. So yeah, it reminds me a bit like that with because I think the Deadpool game sort of had these cameos from different characters coming helping you out for a bit, and I imagine that'll be what the rest of the Guardians are going to be like doing, unless you can sort of combo up with them. Maybe a button input will allow you to do like a combo maneuver with them.
Yeah, I think that's the case. Yeah, some button maneuvers.
Darren, you a big Guardians fan?
I am, yeah. I mean, I love the films and pretty much back what James was saying. It's really nice to see they're really keeping it in line with the spirit of the franchise with all the kind of music choices. And of course, it's not the actors from the films, but they seem to have well cast all the characters. So I'm really looking forward to it. I think people will naturally be a bit concerned because of the way Avengers went, although I think they announced some Wakanda DLC for that, didn't they, as well?
Okay.
But I'm really looking forward to it. It has vibes of Mass Effect almost as well, kind of chucked in there with the kind of different response options to different characters and branching storylines like James mentioned. So yeah, I'm quite excited about it.
I'm not going to put a damper on the party here, maybe a little bit. The only thing that put me off is going to the Switch as well. So yeah.
Is it the stream? Is it streamed though?
Is it streamed to the Switch? Oh, that's better then. I think
it might be, yeah.
It made me think, actually, it is more like a Telltale game if it is on the size, see what comes. Oh, that makes more sense. Good. I'm back in the game. I'm sold.
That's out on the 26th of October.
Yeah, which is great. Another big one for this year. Good. I think Darren mentioned that Square also had some Avengers DLC, Wakanda, the Fight for Wakanda or something like that. Who's still playing the Avengers? Anyone?
My copy's sat in its wrapping still.
Good. Darren, you've been playing him, surely. You're a massive Marvel fan. It's gone. Angry. Just left.
Everything got brought up, that's it.
It just went. I think have we lost you, Darren? Are you still there?
I'm back.
He's back. Good. We're going to keep all this in. I'm not editing this out. This is genius stuff. So, Darren, Avengers fan. Are you happy about have you played the Avengers game?
Not really. No, Ryan's played it quite a bit, so I've kind of dipped in and out with him. But there wasn't a lot to keep him interested, I guess. So DLC is kind of needed. I think it'll inject it into the game, and to be fair to them, they're going to continue supporting it by the looks of it. So hopefully it can improve what's on offer.
Any other thing from Square that was worth mentioning?
There was a couple of things.
Oh, go on, Richard.
One was this Final Fantasy Pixel remaster, which is Final Fantasy 1-6, the original, how they look originally. So I think 3 and 4 have had 3D remakes, and 6, I believe, has also had a graphical update on mobile devices. But this Pixel remaster is 1-6 on as they originally were, or as close as it can be. But it's only coming out for Steam and mobile devices.
Right.
A lot of people aren't happy about.
Yeah.
Because you can get 7 on pretty much any console since it's been released. Oh, that's how it feels like. And it just seems like this would be the perfect opportunity to put 1 to 6 on Xbox and PlayStation consoles properly.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
don't see why they've decided not to.
No. Or just put all their team into making part 2 of Final Fantasy 7. Might be good. Everyone who's knocking around with these things, put them all on that. I don't care if they're doing the tea, the coffee, everyone working on that. That's
they missed because there was no news for that or 16 as well, which we were expecting.
No.
But then they also showed off. Let me get this right: Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins, which is a hack and slash Souls-esque prequel to the original Final Fantasy. With some of the worst voice acting I've ever seen in a trailer. But I gave the trial a go on the PS5. The gameplay is quite good, but those characters are awful. I don't know. I feel like the rejects from Final Fantasy 15, and the best way to describe the characters from Final Fantasy 15 were boy band rejects. So these are rejects of rejects, and
oh God. Wasn't that beta broken as well for a while for a lot of people?
Yeah, originally. So they've extended it. Okay. I think they've put it on for a few more days. But gameplay-wise, and as a piece of fan service, I think that could be quietly pretty good.
Okay.
You just need to change those characters up a little bit.
Good. Anything else on Square before I move on to the big hitters next to? I think that's it.
No.
Capcom. Oh, Capcom. No, they had some stuff, didn't they?
What did they have, Gareth?
We had Resident Evil 8 DLC that might come in the future. That was a headline, wasn't it? Is that fair to say?
We're working on DLC.
Working on DLC in the future. That was that. And then we got down to... What else do they have? Life is Strange?
Reverse got a sort of date.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, finally.
The next month. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've forgotten about it already.
Life is Strange, which we know is coming...
That was Square Enix.
Oh, that's Square Enix. Sorry, Capcom. We forgot about that as well. We know that's coming anyway.
Don't give credit to Capcom for that
one. I'll take it.
Who's doing the game this month that's coming out this month? Is that Capcom? Was that...
Oh, yeah, Monster Hunter Stories 2.
Oh, that's it. Good.
I mean, the one with monsters.
Yes.
The weirdest name ever for monsters. I hope it don't catch on. I don't see monsters anywhere.
Well, that's Capcom. That's what it was like.
You did forget the great Ace Attorney Chronicles.
Oh, yes. How could I forget that?
With Sherlock Holmes.
I don't know why they bothered. I mean, if they didn't have anything, they could have just said, you know what? Let's just do what PlayStation's doing. Just say, I'm not doing it this year.
Yeah.
It could be worse, though.
It could be worse.
As we'll find out.
Yeah.
Bandai Namco. Whoa, what do they have?
Well, there was one thing, and one thing only, which was House of Ashes, the latest part of the Dark Pictures anthology. I think it's the third part now. And it looks good, don't get me wrong, but I remember the stream I was watching, it cut back to a few people talking. I thought, is that it? Is there not going to be more? Is that the showcase? And that was literally it, which felt a bit cheeky, but there we go.
Yeah, especially if we had a trailer for that 4 days ago.
Yeah.
And we know the release date, and we know how much it is. It was a very strange thing, wasn't it? That was really a case of like, just don't do it.
It's very weird because they could have even shown some more gameplay for Scarlet Nexus. They could have shown Tales of Arise.
Yeah.
I think they've even got an Idolmaster game coming out. Anything really. Anything more.
Like a tour of their offices. Just someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the offices are really cool.
Yeah, they are.
There's some great statues of Dragon Ball.
They could just have someone just talking about their family. Anything would have been better.
Yeah.
I mean, it made me think,
Very disappointing.
if E3 was actually a thing and it was where people would go to, would they have turned up still?
Oh, can you imagine?
Yeah.
5-minute show. Thank you. Good night.
Get longer to get in.
They'd have spent an absolute fortune on it as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Let's move on. E3 awards. These are the awards given out to each one. We'll just go through these. We'll get your opinions. We did the Ubisoft most anticipated game. We didn't like the Ubisoft conference on Saturday that much, but the most anticipated game with Mario plus Rabbids, Sparks of Hope. Do we agree with that?
Is it now?
I mean, it is quite telling that it's a joint with Nintendo franchise. That's the most anticipated game.
Yeah.
After that showcase, I think that says it all, really, for me.
I can't remember anything of that showcase now at all.
I think Riders of the Republic was the most exciting one.
Yeah.
Out of them.
Yeah. Or Far Cry 6.
Did nothing. Oh yeah, that's a indie game, though, isn't it?
It's an indie game, yeah. No, exactly. Gearbox's most anticipated game, which of course was
What were the options?
I don't know what the options were. What were the options there? Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, of course, which is coming out next year.
It was either that or Borderlands Remastered. It's incredible.
Yeah. Wow. Xbox dash Bethesda's most anticipated game, which was Halo Infinite.
I feel like there should be a caveat, the multiplayer, because we didn't really find out. I felt a bit shortchanged about the single player campaign of Halo Infinite, because there was a few new screenshots. It's coming out fall this year, and Xbox has said there's going to be a big game every month, isn't there, for the last 6 months of the year, and they've all got release dates, and Halo Infinite is just fall 2021. So I hope it does come out this year. I've got a horrible feeling it's not going to, but we'll see.
Really?
Yeah, I've just got a feeling. You just get one of those gut feelings. I don't know why. The fact that, I haven't even found out more of the story or anything about it, and that might be a ploy on purpose to keep some secrecy, but just something to get me really excited for it. I mean, obviously it's Halo, so I'm going to buy it, but I would like to know a bit more. So multiplayer is great, but I didn't start playing Halo for multiplayer. It was all about the single player campaign that won me over.
Mm-hmm.
No, totally.
I feel like they try to rush it out there in time for the anniversary.
Well, this is the thing. Yeah, that's maybe that's what they're aiming for. I don't know. Just doesn't feel like they're a few months away from release, but hopefully I'm wrong.
Yeah, well, let's cross fingers. Maybe they're waiting. Maybe they're waiting to see where Call of Duty land and a few other ones that maybe are not in there yet into that autumn period, and then they'll fit themselves around that. Maybe they're waiting for...
Halo should wait for nothing. Halo should dominate that market.
But they don't want to go on the same day as, say, Horizon Zero Dawn. I know it's a different console, but they don't want to go on the same day.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You two are...
Lay down that marker.
you two are madness. In the
You've got to have belief in your product.
You do.
And if they're scared of what else might come out, just cancel it. Get it.
Okay, great. Okay. We'll give Xbox a ring after this. Yeah. Is it their showpiece? I don't know if it is their showpiece anymore. I think Forza's their showpiece. I know. Square Enix, most anticipated game, Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy, we just talked about, and that's fair enough, isn't it? PC Gaming Show, most anticipated game, Songs of Conquest. I've got no idea what that is. But I tell you what, I'm more annoyed every day about this bloody Age of Empires being in the Xbox thing. It's really annoying me every time. Get it out the Xbox thing. Get it in the PC world. I don't want it in there.
I agree. I totally agree.
I mean, I had to adapt it.
I was really annoyed because I thought it was going to be on the consoles when I saw the thing. It really annoyed me. So
I did, because they've got Forza on PC at launch, so I wanted Age of Empires 4 on console at launch, but I did. Never mind.
What confuses me about this, we can do PC streaming now, and I don't know if anyone's had a go of it.
I've not, no, not yet.
But that isn't Game Pass for PC, so there's none of the Age of Empire games on there. None of the games that would use a traditional mouse and keyboard. It's just stuff with a controller still. So I was hoping that when this came out, I would be able to play a lot of these PC games via streaming, but that doesn't appear to be an option, and I don't understand. I can't find any information as to why it's not.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, we're annoyed. I'm not going to do all of these because I don't know what these are. And the future, so future game show, yeah, that's really that. Most anticipated indie game, Fallen Frontier. Do we know what this is?
No.
Yeah, very good.
No.
I would have
It's
said.
definitely not that one.
I would have said Sable, or the lake.
Oh, the other one. What was that one? Xbox. Somerville?
Yeah, that would have been.
Oh,
quite
Somerville.
good,
Yeah, that looks good.
Freedom Games most anticipated. I don't know what that is. Capcom most anticipated game. The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, which James called.
I agree.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll back you. I had a couple of those games for DS. I've got a soft spot for Phoenix Wright. So yeah, fair. I think that's fair.
Nintendo most anticipated game, Breath of the Wild 2. There's no surprise there. Most anticipated Eureka Studio game. Don't know who that is. Eureka? Do you know who they are?
I'm going to find out.
Let's find that out. We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah.
The best presentation was Xbox and Bethesda Showcase. And the most anticipated game overall was Forza Horizon 5, which I don't think anyone can't disagree with. I mean, I think Xbox did a really, really good job, didn't they? I mean, it was a really good showcase. I'm not saying that because of the Xbox Hub, but it was really solid, wasn't it?
It was. I was impressed with how diverse it was.
Yeah.
I think the one that they did before, a few months before the Series X came out, just seemed to be either a first-person shooter or action adventure. And I think we did a podcast straight after it and sort of said a similar thing. But this Xbox one, the range of stuff that they're bringing out and the number that they're going straight into Game Pass is seriously impressive.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, I was going to say the same, Richard. The star of the show is Game Pass. Was it 27 titles a day one on Game Pass? And it's pretty much all the huge games as well. That's, for me, that is amazing in terms of accessibility to these games. That's really, they've doubled down on their promise and really gone for it.
What was really strange was Xbox Game Pass put a little kind of like a screenshot, didn't they, of all the games that are out now, the games that are coming up to the end of the year, and games for 2022. And in 2021, that horror game, Scorn, was in there still.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought that. And there was no mention of it at all.
No mention at all, which is weird. But it was in, this is what's coming out. It's coming out this year on Game Pass 2021. That's a really strange one, isn't it? What's going on there, I wonder?
Drop in there.
Maybe that's all we needed. A little teaser last year.
Yeah.
That's enough to get us to be interested.
Yeah, maybe.
And then
We're
you
talking
brought
about it.
Or maybe it's terrible.
True.
All that.
Yeah, no, it's really, I think Game Pass is a thing. Everyone's just got, wow, I've got all this stuff. I said I'm not going to repeat myself, but on Sunday I said, just that the summer of July and August for me is just like, this is amazing. I'm going to get 12 minutes in August. I'm going to get Psychonauts 2, and there's another one in there, isn't there? On the Game Pass. What is it? It's driving me mad. There's another one in there, big one. Oh, Hades.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's,
Yeah,
of
And then you've got Microsoft's Flight Simulator on the end of July. It's like, this is amazing.
Well, that does look great as well. I'm
Yeah.
not really a Flight Sim fan, but that looks amazing.
It does look amazing, yeah. So, yeah, it's really good. Now, I'm going to put this question to you three. PlayStation. Now, me, Richard, and Darren have got PlayStations. James hasn't.
Me?
You've got an old
PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
All right.
They're still releasing all the games for it. There's no need to get a PS5 yet.
No.
Not till next year.
No. Do you think, is it bad for PlayStation that they weren't there, that they haven't announced the same thing as Xbox for the next year or 2 years? Is it fine for them, just doing the state of plays? Are they worried? Is it a concern? Do you think they're going to do something? James?
I think from their point of view, it would do them no harm not being there. But they could have taken away some of the spotlight from Xbox and Nintendo. They've let both of them to have a free reign to try and entice people to their products with no competition, really. So I think they could have done with doing something. Even if it wasn't at E3, I'd rather it was showcased digitally, separately. To do nothing is a little bit lazy, really.
Do you think they're committed? I'm going to put this over to Richard. Richard, do you think they're committed just to doing these state of plays every month or so, and that's the way they're going to go forward? It's all in-house.
Yeah, because they've done their own thing for a few years now, but with what James has sort of said, I think I would disagree with him really on it, because whilst they've not been there, there's still been a ton of games announced for PlayStation consoles, such as Super Monkey Ball, just off the top of my head, Guardians of the Galaxy, Final Fantasy Origins, House of Ashes. They're all still going to be releasing on PlayStation consoles. So I think there's a lot for PlayStation fans to be excited about. It might not be necessarily first-party stuff, but because I think a lot of them sort of shown the hand before the PS5 really came out. The year before, there was some big hitters from their major studios, with the likes of Ghost of Tsushima, Miles Morales, and then before that there was Last of Us Part 2. So I think what a lot of them will be working on might be a few years away anyway.
And there is a case for it, but both these consoles, isn't it? The big ones of going, you actually still can't get a console. So the purpose of E3 to show this is what's coming, these are the games that are coming, also are to people who own the consoles to go, don't worry, things are in the thing. But actually, you're not trying to sell a console because you can't get one. You can't get a PlayStation 5, can you, at the moment?
And don't forget, we're still in the middle of this pandemic, and I think we're now starting to see the effects on the AAA studios a little bit more than the indie developers.
Yes,
I think now the 12 to 18 months where maybe there would have been one or two more releases, we are seeing things start to slip, and it's going to have a knock-on effect for another few years, I think.
I think 2022 is going to be very strong. Time. Everything might be ready by then. Darren, what do you think? Do you think are you expecting any PlayStation drops? Maybe Horizon this year? What do you think they've got?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? So I don't think they'll go back to big stage shows at E3 now. I think they've kind of tested the water. Well, it was cancelled last year, wasn't it? But 2019 was the first year they didn't turn up, I don't think, at E3. And I think they're quite comfortable, because Nintendo shifted to Directs, I think, before State of Plays, but they still did one for E3 every year. So they're focusing on first-party, almost single-player heavy games and focusing on a few big hitters. So you've got like God of War 2, which will be next year, but you've got Horizon, as you say. Ratchet and Clank's just come out, which is PS5 exclusive, one of the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. So I think they'll have a fair few big releases coming up to Christmas, but I think they're quite comfortable with what they're doing at the moment, and I think they're penciled in to do their own State of Play beginning of July-ish, I think,
Right.
and EA are going to follow.
Yeah.
So I mean, I an opinion piece went up on the site today, just kind of I was reflecting on E3, and I think it's sad for E3, but I think E3 is not the same without all the big hitters, and it's going to have to change to stay, to stay relevant as that big pin in the calendar where everyone gets really excited. Because I love E3 and I want it to survive, but it's not. I don't think it's ever going to be the same, because I don't think PlayStation and maybe EA will ever go back to the way they used to do things. Personally,
It's like I think I read this somewhere, which is a really good thing. It was like, when PlayStation were last at E3, they did The Last of Us 2 and they built that barn. They made a barn, they had the guitar thing. It was almost like they did that and everyone went, I don't know what this is. And they were going, you don't get me. I'm going. You don't get my vision, man. We're artists here. And it's like they stormed out angry at people's reaction to that and never came back. But yeah, I think you're right. I think maybe things won't be the same. I think people will look at this and go, we said before, especially if you're off Bandai Namco and go, we can't spend 20 grand on a stall when we've got nothing to show.
This is it, isn't it? And as Richard said, of course, the pandemic's had a huge effect, and people have kind of put in an appearance when you could maybe say probably it would have been more, swallow a bit of humble pie and just not go for it. But they've gone out there, they've tried to kind of put some more information out there, and fair play to them for doing so. But it naturally feels lackluster compared to previous years because of what's happening in the world.
Yeah. Richard's put together a little list here of games that Xbox have in development but they didn't show. Can we just go through them and maybe just say when you think the release date might be? Hellblade 2 and then didn't show, which I was very disappointed about. It was one of my predictions. But they have just shown on a what's it called? Xbox development?
Showcase Extended.
Yeah, that's it.
The developer came and went, this is a long way off. It feels like it's going to be a long way off. But here's a little trailer of all the behind-the-scenes stuff, mixed with some bits of gameplay, with some kind of process stuff, with some of the main actress who's been training to become a proper warrior for 2 years.
It's impressive.
Yeah. I'm still really excited about this game, but it looks like this is coming out 2023.
Yeah, I think they've only just entered full production. Did they say in that thing as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a long way off, isn't it? Mm-hmm. It's quite interesting that when they just shown that trailer literally before we came on, you went, I bet they put that together for E3, but someone at Microsoft went, no, we can't do that. it felt like that was ready to go, but they were like, no.
Yeah, we can't do that. Sorry, we've got Among Us in there. I think Elder Scrolls DLC.
And that party animal game where they're all fighting.
Oh yeah, stay away from that one. That's off limits.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great fun.
Perfect Dark. Of course, you didn't hear anything about that.
I'm really excited about that as well. I was gutted when that didn't pop up.
I mean, I'm saying this. I think the games we're going to mention there maybe won't, or maybe they will come out. Maybe we'll hear more next year. Fable.
One of them will. Fable won't.
I think Fable's a long way off.
Yeah,
me too.
Avowed. What do you think about that? Do you think that might be? We'll see a bit more of that soon.
I think that's quietly. So I quietly think that could be out end of next year.
Yeah, I think that's going to be quite exciting. I mean, it could be a really heavy year next year, couldn't it? Next autumn.
Yeah.
With Starfield Avowed. It was like that when we had before. I remember when Skyrim came out, there seemed to be loads of games of that size came out all at once. It was like a mad year. Forza Motorsport next year, definitely, isn't it?
Definitely next year.
Yeah.
They name checked it, didn't they? I think, but we didn't see anything of it.
Yeah.
They said it was in development still.
Yeah. Deathloop on the Xbox. PlayStation's coming out in September.
I think they've got it for a year, haven't they?
Okay.
So,
right.
I believe.
I'm not sure about that game. Don't know why, but I'll be proven wrong. Ghostwire Tokyo. Is that coming out on both consoles or just PlayStation? Is it? Or just... No, it's on Xbox.
It's not another exclusive for a little while.
Okay.
I think it is.
I thought it was coming to PlayStation first. Maybe I've got that wrong.
I don't even know what that game is. I've copied this list and I don't even know.
Is it the one with the cat?
No.
That's Stray, isn't it?
Yeah. It was at... Was it Bethesda's show last year or the year before?
October this year on PS5.
There we go.
And next year on Xbox.
There we go.
It was next. It's 1 year exclusivity.
State of Decay 3, I forgot that completely.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, that might be next year, I'm not that worried about State of Decay. I don't know why.
I don't get the hype.
No.
Play it on Xbox, it's just a mess.
Yeah, it was.
Second one.
Half of Blood's coming out anyway, so...
Yeah, exactly. Indiana Jones, they've already said today, the developer, he said it's early stages. Like, we haven't made anything apart from that little trailer.
The design is hacked.
So we're not going to see that for a long while, I don't think. Wolfenstein 3, that's a good shout for next year. I like to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, do you reckon?
Ooh. Could be,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Elder Scrolls
2026.
could be, could it? 2020. It could be 2024. I think. I think you're right. I think I'm not gonna see that for a while.
About 10 years of DLC. Couple of remasters.
I'll be dead by the time that's finished its cycle. Good. Right, that's our things to look forward to. Now, have we got the lineup to the end of the year now? Is my question. So, what are we missing from our lineup? We're starting to see it take shape now, but we're obviously missing some of our sports franchises, FIFA, Madden, all those basketball games.
NBA, 2K.
Oh yes, they'll be around
They're
soon,
in
I'm
there.
sure.
We've got a Call of Duty in there at some point in October, November. We don't know anything about that yet, except that it's going to happen. Anything else do we think is going to... I mean, there's some gaps in October. There are some big gaps from the lineup of what we've got from the thing, especially at the beginning. So what are we missing there? Anything at all we can think of?
The one thing that I can think of is the Witcher next gen enhancements.
The
Witcher 3, sorry. I believe that's supposed to be at some point this year.
Right.
Which might then be the time that I finally play that game.
That's good. Oh,
I don't mean that's going to be like one of the big things, but I believe that's meant to be coming this year.
I can't think of anything else what might suddenly appear. I mean, it's not going to be a massive surprise, is it? It's going to be something that's already been in
indie games, aren't they, probably?
Yeah.
Some really good indie games that are probably not quite all right yet.
We're all going to be playing Super Monkey Ball anyway, so...
Even Gareth. I didn't know it yet.
You love it, it's great. Monkey bowling. Perfect.
So we think that's it for the lineup. There's nothing else going to appear in that. It's not going to be a massive surprise somewhere. Maybe Horizon Zero Dawn for the PlayStation. Maybe October, November time. Maybe.
I think, yeah, I'm sure I've heard somewhere that they want it to come out towards the back end of this year. I think, from what I've seen, it doesn't seem impossible to me.
Yeah. There's always a couple of surprises that get released in the summer, isn't it? From some of the other festivals, suddenly they go, it's coming out next month or something. But as James said, I think it might be indie games or like AA games or something like that rather than AAA.
On that subject, that Kena Bridge of Spirits, I'm not sure if that will make it out this year because that looks brilliant.
I thought it was coming August the 22nd.
Oh, in that case, perfect. Brilliant.
It's the best August in years. It's great.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing August. I know.
Okay, well, isn't a bit of trouble. Everwild.
Oh, yeah.
That's a long way off, is that? No.
Yeah, it's at least
They've had to restart it from scratch, I heard.
Oh,
mm-hmm.
It's always
I think the director at Rare left.
Oh, she was good, that woman. Who was the director of that? She's left it. She's just gone.
Believe so.
Right.
That's what I was reading this week because that's why it wasn't showing. That's why it wasn't shown.
Right. Okay.
They've restarted production.
Wow. Okay. Right. So let's finish off. Let's have some. If you could have one best thing from E3 each, what would it be? Let's start with Darren. Your best highlight of the whole thing. I know it's going to be Bandai Namco.
Yeah. Resident Evil 8 DLC. No, it has to be Forza 5 for me. Forza Horizon 5, I should say. Just how it looks. We've got a release date. It's not a million miles away. I think it just looks amazing, and it scares me a bit the amount of hours I put into 4, but I'm ready to do it again.
Yeah, it does look. It looks so special, doesn't it? I mean, just more and more you see about it, it's just like I just like I said on the podcast, the last one. I like the effect of they're liking the exploration stuff as well. Just gonna have some time just wandering around this place. It's really great, and it's going to be hours. You know that you guys still play Forza Horizon 4 a lot, don't you, online? So that came out a while ago. So it's a game that lasts forever. Good, James.
Probably got to say the same. Forza Horizon looks phenomenal. But I'm also really looking forward to Flight Simulator.
Yes. Yeah.
So the two massive highlights for me.
Yeah. I think that's a good shout. Where are we going to do? Where are we going to go? We can't play together, can we?
I mean, don't think so.
It's autopilot. What's the word? Co-pilot, just sitting.
So that will give you a thing where it looks like you're driving. Or flying the plane. Give you a hat and everything.
Yeah.
Pretend.
Yeah, good. Richard?
I think Darren said earlier, but I just think how essential Game Pass is now for an Xbox console owner.
Yeah.
Just what they're putting into it, and still keeping the price the same. I think's really, really good.
They must be losing a fortune on the Game Pass. The amount they're putting into it, they must be losing money.
I don't know. I think with what they're doing, they just seem to be saying, if you want an Xbox console, get Game Pass, and they're making it seem like the essential purchase. So they must be hoping that with every console they sell, someone's buying a subscription at $10.99 a month as well.
I think you're right at that price. Most people use, let's say, methods to get a lot cheaper, and use a lot of buy this to get it for 2 years.
Yeah.
So a lot of the loopholes have probably cut their profits a lot. But still, it's fantastic, Game Pass. I just hope more people will give it a go.
Everyone bought me. They thought they were buying me Xbox credit for for my birthday and Christmas, but actually they were buying me Game Pass credit. So I've got Game Pass till 2025 or something now. It's ridiculous.
I'll see you to Elder Scrolls 6 then, Gareth.
Will do, yeah.
Optimistic, Darren.
You are, yeah. Half-glass full person, that's me.
I think my highlight was the whole Xbox Bethesda. It just made me excited. It made me excited about the whole next year, and it was, I said before, the August is great. Hades, the other game I can't remember, and the one after that I can't remember, but it's going to be a good August. Yeah, 12 minutes. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, so that's really exciting. And it was good. It's good E3. I mean, like you said, I think it's a tricky thing because we know that COVID's going to take an effect, and we're going to see it this year, and maybe into next as well. About just the catch up time, isn't it, and everything, and film and TV and games. But there's a lot of stuff to play, isn't there? Yeah,
especially on Game Pass.
Especially on Game Pass. Now, we're back now, normally next Thursday for the normal podcast where we talk about games we've been playing. But first of all, before we go, Ratchet and Clank, you two. Have you two been playing that? Darren?
I've not yet. Ryan's kind of booted it up and it does look incredible. You can snap between dimensions with virtually no sort of load time or anything, and it just renders the world instantly. I mean, it couldn't run on PS4 the way they built it and the way it looks. I just don't think it could handle it. Yeah. So I really, really want to spend some time with it this weekend because it feels like a proper this gen, next gen game. But it's had rave reviews, hasn't it? I think everyone has said it's fantastic. So I just need to get some time with it.
You've been enjoying it, Richard?
I have. Darren's spot on with it, with how it looks. It's definitely feels like next gen. It's still the quintessential Ratchet and Clank gameplay from the very first one, but just how it looks now, and I've heard all the cliches about it. Oh, it looks like a proper CGI film being batted around, but it really, really does now.
Yeah.
And there's a photo mode that I've not even touched because I've been too busy playing the game and enjoying the adaptive triggers, which work fantastically well with the amount of guns that you've got. So I'm already planning the second playthrough where I can just really take my time with it and then take hundreds of pictures in that photo mode.
Yeah. Good. Right, gentlemen. James, where can we find you? I want to speak to you later.
Sorry, we're back now.
I was going to talk to you about Ratchet and Clank.
I don't have a number. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at OKUKO.
Good. Darren, what about you?
I'm on Twitter at 27Darren.
Great. And Richard?
On Twitter at Double1912.
Great. And you can find me at GB Pirati on Twitter and Twitch. But for now, thank you very much. And we'll be back as normal next week. But thanks for listening. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to the official podcast of TheXboxHub.com. You'll be able to find all the notes of this show at www.TheXboxHub.com/podcast. You can also check out our social feeds on Instagram and Twitter at The Xbox Hub and search for The Xbox Hub on Facebook.